In just a couple of hours, President Biden will speak on the current condition of our country. This is a live look from Capitol Hill, where the president will deliver his State of the Union address at 8 o'clock Iowa time. It is a big night in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, the president's speech will take on an added significance as Biden is up for re-election this year. Our chief political reporter, Amanda Rooker, live in Washington for us tonight. She has an exclusive look at what we can expect in tonight's address. Amanda.
Ben, Stacey, I'm here on Capitol Hill, where President Biden will address Congress, as you mentioned, in just a few hours. And top White House officials tell me that the president plans to focus on three main themes tonight: the economy, democracy, and freedom. They say that there is a threat to democracy both at home and abroad, and that the president is committed to defending democracy. But I also sat down with Iowa Senator Joni Ernst, and she says those are not the issues that Iowans are primarily concerned about.
Honestly, I think that when I talk to Iowans that are sitting around their tables at home, they're not struggling with, are we going to be able to maintain democracy? They are struggling with the cost of food. They are struggling with transportation costs. They're looking at ever-increasing regulations from the Biden EPA. So there's a lot of things that Iowans are wrangling with.
And as Senator Ernst mentioned, the economy there, of course, the president does plan to talk about the economy tonight and the specific actions he's taken that he says has improved Iowans' daily lives. The White House press secretary tells me that includes lowering the unemployment rate down to 3% in Iowa, lowering the cost of prescription drugs, investing in mental health, and improving infrastructure like Iowa's roads and bridges.
We've created 800,000 manufacturing jobs under this administration. And, you know, as I was talking about the Inflation Reduction Act, that's so important. It is so important because Republicans are trying to repeal it, but it's dealing with lowering costs for Americans, lowering healthcare costs, lowering energy costs, which is so important. Bipartisan infrastructure legislation, we're able to do that in a bipartisan way.
And KCCI is one of 7 local stations from all across the country that were invited by the White House to talk to senior officials and cabinet secretaries about Biden's plans for the country and also specifically how those plans have been impacting Iowans' lives. Ben.
Amanda, as we mentioned at the top of the newscast, the president's speech comes during an election year. So how will that impact tonight's address?
That's right, Ben. That means that tonight is as much about policy as it is about performance. All eyes will be on the president to see how he comes across tonight, but also do Iowans and Americans resonate with the vision that he lays out for a potential second term. One thing I want to note that I heard both from Iowa Republican lawmakers and from the White House today is that Biden's message tonight will create a clear contrast between his vision for America and the vision that's been presented by former President Donald Trump as the two gear up for what's likely to be a rematch for the presidency this November. Ben.
Okay, Amanda, thank you.